Today, we're diving deep into one of the most influential books of all time, How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. First published in 1936, this classic remains an essential guide for anyone looking to improve their interpersonal skills and achieve success in both personal and professional life. Get ready for a detailed exploration of the 10 fundamental principles of this book, enriched with practical examples and valuable insights that you can apply in your daily interactions. In a world where human relationships are fundamental to success, Carnegie identified that the ability to connect with people is just as crucial as technical skills. The book offers techniques to improve relationships, gain trust, and positively influence others. Think of human relationships like plants. They need care and nurturing to thrive. Similarly, our interactions require continuous effort and attention to become strong and meaningful. Lesson 1. Don't criticize, condemn, or complain. Criticizing others often leads to resentment and defensiveness rather than positive change. Carnegie illustrates this by mentioning how even notorious criminals, like Al Capone, never saw themselves as bad people but rather as misunderstood. This shows that direct criticism rarely results in improvement and often creates resistance. A common mistake is believing that pointing out people's flaws will lead to immediate correction when, in reality, it tends to push them away. Think about it. How many times have you felt discouraged after being criticized? How could the situation have been handled differently for a better outcome? Lesson 2. Give honest and sincere appreciation. We all want to feel valued. Carnegie emphasizes that one of the deepest human desires is the need to feel important. Genuine praise can boost self-esteem and encourage positive behavior. For example, acknowledging a colleague's effort on a project not only motivates them but also strengthens professional relationships. The mistake is confusing sincere appreciation with flattery. Flattery comes across as insincere and can undermine trust. Think about the times when a genuine compliment made your day better. How can you offer that same feeling to others? Lesson 3. Arouse in the other person an eager want. To influence someone, you must first understand their desires and needs. Carnegie suggests that instead of focusing on what we want, we should concentrate on what the other person wants. For instance, a salesperson who aligns the benefits of a product with the client's interests is far more likely to succeed. A common mistake is only thinking about personal goals without considering what's important to the other person. Reflect on your interactions. Do you consider the other person's desires or just your own? How can you align your goals with theirs for mutual benefit? Lesson 4. Become genuinely interested in other people. Showing real interest in others creates authentic connections. Carnegie tells the story of Theodore Roosevelt, who would study the interests of his guests before meeting them, ensuring meaningful and engaging conversations. For example, asking a colleague about their family or hobbies shows that you care about them beyond the workplace. The mistake is pretending to be interested, which people can easily detect and may harm the relationship. Ask yourself, do you truly know the people around you? How can you deepen these relationships in a genuine way? Lesson 5. Smile. A smile is a universal language that conveys warmth and openness. Carnegie highlights that actions speak louder than words, and a sincere smile can brighten someone's day. For example, greeting someone with a smile sets a positive tone for the conversation. The mistake is underestimating the power of a smile or forcing one artificially. Think about a time when a simple smile improved your day. How can you use this simple yet powerful tool to enhance your daily interactions? Lesson 6. Remember that a person's name is, to them, the sweetest and most important sound in any language. Using someone's name shows respect and attention. Carnegie shares the story of Jim Farley, an American politician who could remember thousands of names, which greatly contributed to his popularity. For example, addressing people by name in meetings makes communication feel more personal. The mistake is forgetting or mispronouncing someone's name, which can come across as disinterest. Recall a time when you felt special because someone remembered your name. How can you apply this in your interactions? Lesson 7. Be a good listener. Encourage others to talk about themselves. Active listening strengthens relationships and demonstrates genuine respect. Carnegie states that one of the most important social skills is knowing how to listen. He shares a story about a dinner where he spent the entire evening listening to a woman talk about herself. At the end of the night, she told him he was one of the best conversationalists she had ever met, even though he barely spoke. This shows that people deeply value being heard. A common mistake is pretending to listen while actually just waiting for your turn to speak. This can make the conversation feel shallow and frustrating for the other person. To improve this, try repeating part of what the other person said or asking questions to show you're genuinely engaged. Now think, have you ever noticed how good it feels when someone truly listens to you? How can you improve your active listening skills? Lesson 8. Talk about what interests the other person. To captivate someone, talk about what excites them. Carnegie shares an example of a meeting with a famous botanist. Instead of talking about himself, Carnegie asked about the botanist's work and showed sincere interest. At the end of the conversation, the botanist felt they had an amazing discussion, even though Carnegie barely spoke about himself. The mistake here is dominating the conversation with your own interests without considering whether they engage the other person. To avoid this, observe cues in the conversation. What makes the other person light up? What topics excite them? Ask about those and let them talk. Have you ever shifted a conversation to the other person's interests and noticed how much more engaging it became? Lesson 9. Make the other person feel important, and do it sincerely. Everyone wants to feel valued. Carnegie explains that even the most powerful and successful individuals crave recognition and appreciation. U.S. President William McKinley once decided to promote an employee simply because that person showed him genuine respect and consideration. The mistake is trying to please people superficially or with fake compliments, which can sound insincere. The key is to find something genuinely praiseworthy and acknowledge it sincerely. To practice this, start noticing what people around you do well and give them genuine recognition. Think about it. How can you recognize and appreciate the people in your daily life more? Lesson 10. Avoid arguments. The best way to win an argument is to avoid it. Arguing rarely convinces someone to change their opinion. Carnegie illustrates this with the story of Benjamin Franklin, who, as a young man, loved proving others wrong. Over time, he realized this wasn't beneficial and adopted a more diplomatic approach, listening more and arguing less. As a result, he became one of the most respected men in American history. A common mistake is believing that winning an argument is an achievement. In reality, the other person might concede in the moment but hold on to resentment. To avoid this, try finding common ground and showing understanding. The next time you're about to engage in a heated debate, ask yourself, is this argument worth having, or is there a better way to handle it? Well, now that we know these powerful lessons, how can we put them into practice? The key is to start with small changes in your daily interactions. I've put together 7 simple but effective tips to help you apply these principles. Tip 1. Choose one principle per week to focus on. Trying to implement everything at once might feel overwhelming. Instead, pick one lesson and concentrate on it. For example, this week, try remembering people's names and addressing them by name whenever possible. Tip 2. Train your active listening skills. In your next conversation, focus on listening more than speaking. Ask questions, show genuine interest, and avoid interrupting. Observe how the other person reacts when they realize they are truly being heard. Tip 3. Avoid direct criticism. Before correcting someone, think of a more positive way to approach the situation. Instead of saying, "You did this wrong," try something like, "Maybe we could try this approach for a better result." Tip 4. Practice sincere compliments. Every day, find something positive to recognize in someone around you. It could be a coworker, a family member, or even a cashier at a store. The key is to be genuine in your appreciation. Tip 5. Make smiling a habit. Even though it seems simple, a smile can completely change how people react to you. Try consciously smiling throughout the day and see the difference it makes in your interactions. Tip 6. Avoid unnecessary arguments. If you notice a conversation turning into a heated debate, take a deep breath and try shifting your approach. Instead of focusing on winning, aim to understand the other person's perspective. Tip 7. Show genuine interest in people. At work, at home, or with friends, ask questions that show sincere curiosity. Simply asking, "How was your day?" and truly listening to the answer can strengthen relationships in ways you might not expect. As you gradually apply these techniques, you'll start noticing shifts in how people respond to you. Relationships will become easier, connections deeper, and unexpected opportunities will begin to arise. Now that you know these strategies, the challenge is set. Which of these lessons will you start applying first? Drop a comment below and let me know. If you found this video valuable, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with someone who could benefit from these insights. And if you want to dive even deeper into Carnegie's timeless wisdom, you can grab a copy of How to Win Friends and Influence People through my Amazon affiliate link in the description and pinned comment. By doing so, you'll not only be investing in your personal growth, but also supporting this channel to bring more valuable content to you. See you in the next video for more compact wisdom.